Hi everyone, so glad you could join us today as we journey through the pages of another informative weekend edition of Jamaica Magazine. I'm your host, Theodore Henry. We'll take you to Westmoreland for a Western Roundup, plus some good environmental habits you should practice. Sit back and relax for these and more interesting features right after this important message.
Jamaica's COVID-19 vaccination plan is still in effect. If you wish to make an appointment, please do so online by visiting moh.gov.jm or by calling 888-663-5683. Vaccination still a keep. Go get your jab today.
Our Western Roundup segment returns this weekend, and we are headed to Westmoreland, where the Super Kids Literacy Program is assisting in bridging the learning gap brought about by the COVID-19 pandemic. Hop on for this ride.
According to the United Nations Educational, Scientific and Cultural Organization, UNESCO, close to half the world's students are still affected by partial or full school closures, and over 100 million additional students will fall below the minimum proficiency level in reading because of the health crisis. With this stark reality, stakeholders in Westmoreland have partnered to ensure that no student is left behind. Today on Western Roundup, we feature the Super Kids Literacy Program, an initiative spearheaded by Great Shape Incorporated, Sandals Foundation, and the Negril Education Environmental Trust, NEAT. As usual, it promises to be good, so stick around. Since the onset of the COVID-19 pandemic, there has been significant learning loss among our children. Recognizing this, schools at their local levels have been finding creative ways to engage students, especially those with no access to online learning. The Great Shape Incorporated's Super Kids Literacy Camp was one way which proved effective for the students of Broughton Primary and the Mount Airy Primary and Infant Schools.
You know that we are in a pandemic, and because of that, our children have experienced severe learning loss. And this program has been so wonderful. It has enabled the children to socialize first. They look forward to coming to learn new things. They have been benefited through literacy program, rich literacy program. We have seen where some of our children who started out really low below their grade level have improved tremendously. 3 of our students who were not able to identify words or even letters. And through this intervention with the Great Shape volunteers, they have improved tremendously.
The program, which lasted for 2 weeks, saw students being engaged in language arts, computer science, arts and craft, science and music, all aimed at boosting literacy.
It's really a lot of hard work between the MOEY, the Sandals Foundation, and Great Shape Incorporated. We have assessment tools we use to first either choose the schools we're going to partner with, or in this case, actually assess and choose the strategic children we are going to work with in both areas, Broughton and Mount Airy.
Once the children were selected, the organizers ensured all the necessary protocols were in place to keep the students safe. This was a collaborative effort.
For this year, we understand that we're operating in a pandemic. So the aim for Sandals Foundation was to also know that Great Shape was focusing on protocol, which is very important. And when Sandals Foundation got that nod that yes, the focus was on that, we were full speed ahead. We wanted to support the project. All volunteers are vaccinated, or those who are local who haven't been fully vaccinated, they were tested once they arrived to interact with the children, and of course they'll be tested to go back into their communities.
Assessment and protocols aside, the children who were hosted by the Negril Education Environmental Trust's Resource Center described the experience as simply awesome.
I like it very much. It helps me a lot because when I'm at home online, you can't do much. But when I'm here, I can do a lot of stuff. And I could walk around and do stuff like that.
Great. Sang with most of my schoolmates. We actually beat some instruments I've never seen. I've never seen the harmonica, I've never played it, I didn't touch it, but I saw persons playing it. We beat drums, we were taught about the whole note, and each song we sing, he explained where the whole note is, where the quarter note is, and each note. I enjoyed it. I'm telling the honest truth, I loved it.
A key part of the success of the program was the volunteers, most of whom have either been a beneficiary of the Great Shape Incorporated initiatives in previous years or have been repeat volunteers.
I am teaching computers. I'm helping the students know better about computers, trying to get them to know what it's like to be on a computer, what are the parts of a computer, how to use it. I've grown up being a student when they come to my school and volunteer at Kendall Primary. I used to be a student learning from them. So I have learned much and I can give back. So here am I. I'm volunteer, helping, giving back what I've learned.
I've been here a lot of different years and have not been here in 2 years, obviously, since the COVID started. But wonderful to teach music. Absolutely wonderful working with the kids.
My decision initially sparked as being a student myself in one of the projects. So in 2019, I was a student of Teacher Teachers, where they were actually doing computer literacy at Godfrey Stewart. It has been very, very, very interesting, actually, because with the pandemic and all, it has been a little bit, not everybody has that computer literacy. So just seeing that they are now able to just turn on a computer, they are able to find the shortcuts that we have been teaching them over the past couple of days. That makes it so interesting to see how they just grab it up and they're just ready.
The Super Kids project started in 2008 and is one of Great Shape Incorporated's 4 outreach projects providing access to health care and education to Jamaicans. We hope you enjoyed the program. Thanks for joining us for Western Roundup, where we take you from the corners of St. Elizabeth to the hilly terrains of St. Anne. Remember to send your feedback to jismobe@jis.gov.jm. Until next time, take care.
I've made my tree legacy from the primary level all the way to university. You can get involved too. Plant a tree today and keep climate change away.
Register your alma mater for the Forestry Department's My Tree Legacy promotion and be a part of the preservation of Jamaica land we love. Let us highlight your contribution. Submit videos or pictures of you leaving your mark. Every tree counts. Plant a tree today and keep climate change away.
Government is working on building a more inclusive society, and technology is playing a key role with fit-for-purpose devices offering a greater sense of independence for many Jamaicans. See what these are and what they can do in this next feature.
I'm Dion Jennings, Chief Technical Director assigned to the Jamaica Council for Persons with Disabilities. When we protect, promote, and secure the rights and well-being of persons with disabilities, we move closer to realizing Jamaica's Vision 2030 goals that of fostering inclusion, independence, access, and full participation of persons with disabilities in all spheres of national development. The Jamaica Council for Persons with Disabilities, under the Ministry of Labour and Social Security, is charged with the responsibility for implementing policies and programs for persons with disabilities. The JCPD, through the Ministry of Labour and Social Security, will continue to provide support to persons with disabilities to access assistive aids and adaptive devices to enable their independence in their everyday life.
What is a hearing aid?
A hearing aid is a small electronic device that someone who has a hearing loss uses.
Are there different types of hearing aids?
There are different types of hearing aids, and usually they are associated with the type of hearing loss that you have. The behind the ear can be used by anyone who has any levels of hearing loss, from a mild to a profound level. Then you have a receiver in the canal hearing aid, basically for persons with a mild to moderately severe hearing loss. They may have a bud, and if you have a greater loss, then a custom-made mold is attached to the RIC hearing aid, which is a receiver in the canal. Then you have an in-the-ear hearing aid, again, that is used by persons who have a mild to a profound hearing loss. Then you have in-the-canal hearing aid. That is used by persons, again, who have a mild to a moderately severe hearing level. The last hearing aid that we have is called the completely in the canal, and that is used for persons with a mild to moderately severe hearing loss.
Tips to care for hearing aids.
There are different types of hearing aid, and all of them are taken care of the same way, in the sense that they all use a battery, and you're not to use any liquid on the hearing aids. So there is a brush that normally comes with the product that you will clean off any wax or any moisture. Use it on a piece of tissue or a soft rag, and you take out the wax out of the openings of the hearing aid. So this is an in-the-ear hearing aid, and so this is taken care of by putting in the battery here, and then you remove it, leave the battery door open, put down in the case. And then if you have a behind-the-ear hearing aid, it's basically the same way. You have the battery door, and you remove the battery, you have the brush, you clean around the tips of the hearing aid, and you clean by the opening of the hearing aid, and you do not use any cleaning agent on the hearing aids. Also, at the tip of the hearing aid, you may have what is called a hair clear, and that is replaced whenever it is blocked with wax. So you put that on the tip of the hearing aid, and you insert it on the opening of the hearing aid so that it protects the hearing aid from excessive wax getting into the instrument itself. And then you remove this and you discard this as well. And that is basically all you have to do to take care of your hearing aids. Do not swallow the battery for the children. Do not leave it out for the animals to come and play with them. And you open the drawer, put it in its case, leave it open so that if there's any moisture in the hearing aid, it can evaporate. So parents, guard the hearing aid, protect them from any excessive moisture. So no cleaning of alcohol, no cleaning agent, no bleach or anything like that. Just when you remove it from your ears, like this, you take it out, you open the battery drawer, remove the battery, and you put it down in the case. And basically that's all you have to do to take care of the hearing aid that you have.
Where can I get information or help?
More information and help is available at the Jamaica Association for the Deaf, located 9 Morisco Road with entrance on Caledonia Lane in the Kingston 5 area.
What is a wheelchair?
A wheelchair is a chair with wheels used when walking is difficult or impossible due to illness, old age, or disability.
Are there different types of wheelchairs?
Yes, there are different types of wheelchair. Actually, you have 3 types: standing wheelchair, electrical wheelchair, and manual wheelchair.
Tips to care for wheelchairs.
Some tips for caring for the wheelchair are: 1. To remove all dust from the wheelchair frame by using a damp cloth. 2. Check the tires to ensure that they are still hard. Use a bicycle pump to add air if necessary.
a production of the Jamaica Council for Persons with Disabilities, a department of the Ministry of Labor and Social Security.
To properly carry out a hand rub, apply a palmful of the product in your cupped hand, covering all surfaces. Rub your hands palm to palm. Rub your right palm over the back of your left hand with interlaced fingers and vice versa. Rub your hands palm to palm with fingers interlaced. Rub the back of your fingers to opposing palms with fingers interlocked. Rotationally rub backwards and forwards the clasped fingers of your right hand in your left palm and vice versa. Once your hands are dry, they are now safe.
We now turn to an important habit we can all adopt in managing our solid waste and supporting the 3 R's: to reduce, reuse, and recycle. Watch this next feature as the National Solid Waste Management Authority kickstarts the habit of a plastic garbage separation project in Jamaica.
Jamaicans will have to undergo a behavioral shift in their solid waste disposal practices and get into the habit of sorting their plastic waste, which could potentially save the country millions. If the National Solid Waste Management Authority has its way, within the next 2 years, every household will have to separate its plastic for garbage disposal. According to the state-owned agency, approximately 40% of domestic waste consists of solid degradable substances such as plastics.
When it goes to the landfill, and should there be a fire, those plastics enhance the burning and give us less control in managing any event of a spontaneous or otherwise fire at the landfill.
We have 2 types of waste in the household. You have the organic and the inorganic waste, and the plastic is part of the inorganic. So it is a very good initiative, and I believe that it will save us money and it will save us the environment.
Research has shown that plastics harm the environment, impacting the growth of humans, flora and fauna. Plastic products are known to clog drains, contributing to year-on flooding. Plastics also pollute the seabed, damaging the ecological system, such as sea creatures and mangroves. For those reasons and others, the NSWMA has embarked on a plastic separation project for Jamaica. Now in its pilot phase, the project has kicked off in Kingston and St. James.
The purpose of this program is 1, to rid our waste of the plastics, 2, to reduce the amount of plastic that goes to our landfill, and 3, also educate this community on how to separate and why the importance of separating these plastics.
Our regional office, WPM, is promoting love for the environment, and as you are aware, the NSWMA is an environmental organization, though government. We are interested in the health of the environment, and keeping our environment safe is of importance to us. We want to rid the environment of harmful effluents, like we have plastic bottles.
The residents are first educated on the importance of garbage separation, and then homes are provided with containers to solely dispose of their plastics.
Today we just will be issuing flyers to the residents of the communities. We'll be issuing drums, and we'll just having general discussions with them about how to make their environment more cleaner, safer and healthier. It is important that they separate at source. That way it is much more easier for us to handle the waste and take care of it accordingly. We schedule these collections, right? Once weekly, they will come in and collect, and those plastics, whichever resident is unsure of when the collection date is, they can always call us. We have a mobile app that they can also check with to verify when is their collection day in case they are uncertain.
We were actually approached by the NSWMA and we were quite excited because we do recognize that there has been significant degrading of the environment. We have been sending emails, we've been sending text messages so that they understand that what their responsibility is in this in protecting the environment and doing what we can to ensure that our children are able to benefit and see the natural resources that we have to offer here in Jamaica and to a wider extent the universe. As far as being a part of this pilot program, one of the first communities to be selected, I mean it's something that's going to give us a significant boost as it relates to the wider Jamaica, so that people can recognize that the Meadows of Irwin citizens, that we are conscious about what's going on in the environment. And it starts with one person, but I mean if we could get together as a community and we are undertaking this initiative, then it goes to show that we can go ahead and extend that further within the neighboring communities and just do great things for our country.
In this pilot launch, the NSWMA has collected more than 1,000 pounds of plastic bottles from not only householders of Irwin, but other communities in St. James, such as Rambo Hill and Westgate Hills, which have since joined in to separate their garbage of plastics. The drive is now to provide more residents with the resources to separate their garbage. Plastics come in various types, shapes, and kinds. Toys, stationeries, personal care items, and the very obvious, drink bottles. The NSWMA has partnered with other agencies to properly dispose of the separated plastics.
We don't use the same units that we use to collect the regular household garbage. We use a tipper, a special truck, to pick up those plastics. So they are not mixed in the regular garbage. So once they are separated at source, we come and we collect on specific days. We also partner with RPJ, that's Recycling Partners of Jamaica, who takes these plastic bottles and recycles it.
Some types of plastics can only be composted by industrial or municipal facilities after first being separated from other non-biodegradable plastics.
If you love the environment, you should ensure that you protect it. And this is one way you can protect it. Ensure that you separate your garbage. You have your garbage that you can separate for composting, and you have your garbage that you can separate the plastic from to ensure that it does not end up in the sea or drains. And if it goes to the landfill, which we are trying to reduce the amount of garbage that goes to the landfill, if it is at the landfill and burnt, then you know that it will give off poisonous gases that can also affect us health-wise and our environment. It can damage the ozone layer, and it can also, through the burning, which would create carbon monoxide, damage our respiratory system.
Do you want to have your community join in on the plastic separation pilot project? Then contact the NSWMA at 876-926-5170 or download their app from the Google Play Store to connect with the agency.
In spite of all our differences,
This is where we end our journey through the pages of Jamaica Magazine for today. Be sure to join us again tomorrow for another show. Until then, there is more to watch on our website, jis.gov.jm, or our YouTube channel, Watch JIS. You can also find us on all the major social media platforms and through our mobile app that's both Android and iOS compatible. On behalf of the entire production team, I'm Theodore Henry, urging you to take the COVID-19 vaccine, wear your mask. Till next time, keep safe.
This has been a production of the Jamaica Information Service, the voice of Jamaica.